Good evening. Welcome to Checking the Executive. Thank you and welcome back if you tuned in last week. As always, my name is Justin Bliss, and on this show, we document the Trump administration for historical accuracy. Here are this week's top stories. Trump gave his first State of the Union address to the nation on Tuesday night this week. I'm not going to cover it in detail, as many news outlets already have, and you're probably sick to death of hearing about it. Much of Trump's State of the Union was spent lying through his teeth. During his State of the Union address, Trump attempted to justify Doge's existence to the national public. Through this, he used inaccurate and false information about the Social Security Administration and however many people and beneficiaries were on it. I can't possibly comb through the amount of inaccuracies and lies that were going through the president's address. However, one I did want to point out that would highlight basically all of it was he said that 3.6 million people between the ages of 110 and 119 years of age were collecting Social Security benefits. This is an outrageous lie. There are about 60 people estimated to be living in the United States currently between the ages of 110 and 119. That is a stark contrast with the 3.6 million people that he presented. So why would he lie? Lies are easy to believe if you so choose. These lies were for his base and his people to give them something to point to when asked about the fraud. He knows he isn't going to be pushed back on it, and he wasn't. The Democrats had a very poor showing. The Republican Party cheered these lies as he said he was fixing the corruption. However, the corruption is not taking place. The corruption is a myth, a lie. It's a boogeyman that the Trump administration is using to justify Doge, going through our Treasury payment systems and Social Security information. The other thing I wanted to mention during the State of the Union address was that Trump stated he was going to take Greenland one way or another. Greenland is occupied territory. There are currently people living there, and I'm sure they don't want to be invaded or annexed by a reality TV star. Trump claimed that we needed Greenland for national and international security. However, if he wasn't busy bending over for Putin and actually was working with our allies, we wouldn't need Greenland as a buffer state. In the meantime, Trump continued his trade war with Mexico and Canada. Tariffs were set to go out on Monday, and on Wednesday, Mexico's tariffs were repealed, and by Friday, so were a little bit of Canada's. We're not really sure. I'm not even sure that the Trump administration knows how much to levy on countries at this particular hour, as it changes so rapidly. On Saturday, Trump stated that there would be a new 250% tariff on Canadian goods. The markets do seem concerned, however, and the Canadians as well. Canadians are boycotting American goods en masse, notably American distilleries for Kentucky bourbon. Distilleries in Kentucky seem to be on edge as billions of dollars in the market of liquor are taken down from shelves in Canada. Trump starting a trade war with no foreseeable purpose will prove to be a calamity. American jobs will be lost, businesses and homes will be foreclosed on. Trump is reportedly planning on firing 80,000 employees of the Department of Veterans Affairs, because if there's one thing that Trump hates more than American jobs, it's the American veterans. He seemingly has no problem sending American veterans to Greenland. In President Trump's ongoing hot dog measuring contest with Ukraine President Zelensky, he announced he may be deciding to deport 240,000 Ukrainians seeking refuge from the ongoing war with Russia. The White House says this move could come as soon as April. Last week, after the president's disastrous meeting with President Zelensky, Secretary of Defense and television personality Pete Hegseth stopped all cybersecurity projects against Russia in the United States. This week, a 30,000-node botnet known as 1111 Bot, seemingly a Russian botnet network, engaged in large-scale denial of service or DDoS attacks. DDoS attacks target network sites in an attempt to use all available bandwidth to make the service unusable. Correlation sometimes does equal causation. President Trump also reportedly became involved in Ukrainian politics, as two of Zelensky's largest political rivals both confirmed that the president tried to influence them to hold snap elections in the Ukraine to remove Zelensky from power. In good news for both the world and the Ukraine, Poroshenko and Timoshenko held firm that elections are out of the question until the ongoing war is over. Lastly, this week we'll end with some news coming out of Manhattan as protesters took to the Tesla dealership there and stormed the storeroom. On Saturday, hundreds of protesters were in the showroom of the Tesla dealership in an attempt to disrupt business. At least 6 protesters were arrested. I'll let them explain why.
My name's Frankie, and I'm getting arrested today protesting Elon Musk. Bought his way into office. He bought his way into heading a government agency. He bought his power at the expense of the American people, at the expense of our environment, at the expense of our world, and all of the people in it.
Until next week, God bless and good night. Thank you.